are now tuned in to Hustle Her Way, the podcast, a weekly podcast that celebrates and empowers the ambitious women who are rewriting the rules, breaking barriers, and making their mark in the world. I'm your host, KT, and I'm thrilled to have you guys along on this exciting journey. In a world where opportunities for women are expanding every day, Hustle Her Way, the podcast, is now your go-to destination to find inspiration, motivation, and great advice from extraordinary women as myself and other guests that we will have on this podcast who have paved their own paths to success. I believe that every woman has a unique story to tell, and here we're going to uncover the triumphs, challenges, and lessons learned for some of the most remarkable female entrepreneurs, leaders, and innovators across various industries. Every week we will have either a solo episode or an interview that encaps what a hustle her way mindset looks like and what you can do to find your own hustle. Thanks for staying tuned, and let's get right on into the show. And welcome back to Hustle Her Way, the podcast. Thank you guys so much for rocking with the podcast, listening on wherever you listen to your podcast, or if you're watching this on YouTube via video, thank you for staying tuned. I am just so grateful that you guys have been rocking with the podcast and you like what's coming. So definitely believe season 2, we're going to have a ball. But first, again, official podcast business. Do not forget to rate, like our podcast wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, i.e. Hustle Her Way, the podcast. This is for more people to understand and be able to interact with our little community here and be able to get the good message out to the people who need it. So definitely go ahead and like and rate the podcast. So this week we do not have a rating or comment that was left, but again, thank you guys for staying tuned. Thank you for being avid listeners, and hopefully we can keep churning out some great opportunities. So as you guys know, last week I talked about burnout because that subject was very near and dear to my heart because I have experienced burnout. I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to want to do something, but you can't because you really don't have the mental capacity to do so because you're stressed about other things. And it's just a plethora of reasons why you get burnout. So I really wanted to talk about that because that is something that always affect especially women who hustle, because we're always trying to get things done and for it to look perfect the first time, i.e. me. But nevertheless, you guys really enjoyed the burnout episode. So again, thank you for listening. So today's episode is basically what to do when you are feeling lost. And what do I mean by that? So as of lately, I can definitely tell you guys I've been in a period of I feel stuck. And it's contributed to some of the lostness. As you guys know, I closed my business down. I did a lot of things, and I would say it's catching up to me because now I feel like I don't know what to do anymore. I'm not very sure of my actions. I'm not sure of my decisions. Things have been popping off just all in my life, and I just feel this sense of lostness because I for so many years thought my business was the end all be all thing that was going to get me to the next level. And now that I don't have that, and knowing that all the plans that I had for my life kind of blew up, and now I'm just left sitting in the rubbish of everything. And I just want to let you guys know like how that feels, and then also, you know, talk about what the other side might look like, even though I'm going through this, because this isn't the first time I felt this, and I can kind of tell you how I got through it the first time, and hopefully it works. So when I say I feel lost, or when you feel lost, it's just a loss of purpose. I've really been questioning what is my overall purpose, because for a while I thought teaching and doing business work in that capacity I had was going to be the end all be all of my purpose. This is why God put me on this earth, other than, you know, praising him and things of that nature. But I really felt that was my overall purpose. This is what I was supposed to do for the rest of my life. Everything. So when I ended up closing my business, at first it didn't sting as bad, because I'm just like, okay, I'm tired. I'm again burnt out of my business. I've taken breaks before. It's not still working out. And I just really need to figure out what else I can do in my life. So for the first couple of weeks, that's what I was like, oh, I feel such a relief, all this kind of stuff. But now it's the sense of loss. I don't know what my next steps need to look like. I don't have this overarching plan, because again, my plan just blew up, and it's almost like I can't trust myself. And that feeling is very hollow feeling, because I'm trying to make decisions based on what is in the moment and what's available to me, but now I'm second guessing myself. Or I don't know, y'all, it's just really a sense of loss, and that's the best way that I can describe what it is and understand how to maneuver through it. Because for so long I just thought maybe I'm still suffering with burnout, but it's not even doing things that's getting me on this. It's literally making small decisions about things. Even with me teaching, I started to second guess, well, if I had to close my business, is teaching what I'm supposed to be doing? So literally, I can tell you, I normally don't second guess everything in my life, but lately it's been, is this really the right decision? Is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? And things of that got me feeling like I can't trust myself. And I can tell you, I felt this way before, and that's kind of why my business started, because I felt a sense of loss. When I graduated from college, I just knew, because I networked, I internship, I did this, I did that I should have graduated with a signed offer in hand. And when that didn't happen, I ended up getting in the trucking industry and just feeling lost at work. Just feeling a loss of self, of understanding, is this supposed to be where I'm supposed to be? How is this really feeling the purpose in my life? How is this feeling the notion of getting into my career choice? And for so long, I just didn't know how to deal with that, and I felt lost at that point. And so what I did was I started my business, and that catered me to understanding more about how I can show up, understanding where my confidence came from, understanding how to deal with clients, and how to educate. And everything that I know that I do today is 100% from me building that business. And so now that field, the lostness then, is now what's driving the lostness now. It's kind of disheartening to say, but I had to figure out how to move within this season. I don't know when the season might be over. It might be a few months, it might be a few years, we never know. But I have to know how to keep going and not sit in these feelings anymore. So one thing I've been doing is, one, talking to God more. Although I know a lot of people probably like, yeah, you know, talk to God. But literally, because I don't know what their purpose is anymore, I have to draw more into Him to figure out what is next. I can honestly say I had a 5-year plan for my life, and now that it's ripped to shreds, I don't know what the next day looks like. I don't know if the things that I'm doing now is something that's supposed to be set up for me in the future. So really drawing into God and understanding that I don't need to have a plan right now, that I have to literally have so much faith in just him and understanding that he controls that next step is very scary. Because you guys know I'm a planner, so I love to have things organized and tied with a nice little bow, and right now life is not like that. Life is literally chaotic and I'm literally on the seat of my pants. But knowing that I had to transfer all that planning into not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow is what I'm doing right now, and it's scary, it's hard, it's like I said, I'm waking up trying to figure out, okay, today this is what I want to do. And it's been very much a learning curve for me, because again, I am a planner. I like to have things planned out. I like to understand where I'm coming from, where I'm going. And right now in this season, God's like, yeah girl, not you. You gonna have to hold tight. Another thing that's been helping me move on is finding a passion in something that I'm already doing. So YouTube, content creation, although it's more work on me, I've been really heavily leaning into that because that's the only thing I can control right now. And also it's the one thing that I can look forward to. It's the one thing that I can help somebody else understand what's going on in their life and understanding how that could lead to something else. So I would say find a passion, find a hobby, whether that's content creation, whether that's cooking, whether that's whatever it might be. You have to find something to lean into, because if you don't have anything during that lost season, you're just going to be twiddling your thumbs. And it's not bad waiting on God, but also you have to showcase why you are worthy in the first place. So finding something that is outside of yourself, because I don't make content for myself. I make content for the people who are starting their PR journey. I'm making content for not only my PR students. I'm making content for now business owners. I'm making content for women who are hustlers like I am. This is solely outside of my reach, and knowing that content creation is that outlet is something that I lean into. So literally find something that you can lean into. And third, I would say stay faithful and just relax. That's very hard for me because I'm always on go mode, but literally just having that avenue to relax, to be okay with not having life all the way planned out, and understanding that this season isn't going to last long. It might be a couple of years, might be a couple of months, might be a couple of days. We never know how long time a season can last, but know that there is a breakthrough coming. And knowing that, I know when I'm on the other side of this season of feeling lost, that there's going to be greater for me than I can ever imagine. One thing I know when planning, you plan for what you see and you never think outside of the box. And so I feel that God is really setting me up for a great opportunity that's outside of the box that I never would have imagined if I kept with the same plan, if I kept with the same attitude, and not keeping my eyes open for other opportunities to come about. That's literally what happened with this teaching gig. I didn't think about teaching, even though when I started my PhD program, I kind of was on the fence. I was like, maybe this could help me in my job or this, that, and the other. I never really thought fully that teaching could be an opportunity for me because it really wasn't on my radar. So meeting other people, meeting my professor, my old professor again, and just speaking with her and seeing that this was another opportunity, I probably would have never understood it, especially if I still had my business, or if things that went right in my business, I probably would have took down that teaching job. I probably wouldn't have did it, because I was like, I got all these clients, I got new clients coming in, and you know, people are trying to book, and I'm booking busy, but I can't be so booked and busy that I can't see these other opportunities coming about. And I think once that season is over with, I'm going to be thankful that I was able to have that eye-opening experience, taking that time to relax, finding a passion like content creation, and just trusting God and having that faith that He's going to see me through this season, whether I like it or not, and understand that there's greater on the horizon. So hopefully, if you guys are feeling the same, trust me, I completely understand. It's not the sexiest thing, it's not the greatest thing to tell somebody you're feeling lost and you know you don't know what you want to do and things of that nature. But understand that I am here for you. This is a community that is looking and is opening for you to speak and for you to come up with something to do. So if you guys need anything, don't forget to send me an email at ktthepublicist@gmail.com if it's confidential. Also, don't forget to comment down below if you're watching this on YouTube. Just say, no, just speak from the heart and speak from the lens of understanding what you want to do, and just being open and honest about your situation. I think that is one of the things that I've been working on the most, is being transparent, because I was always the person that was afraid of letting people see me down or letting me see in a vulnerable moment. And lately I've been understanding that to be vulnerable is not a bad thing, to let people in and be transparent about situations that is happening could be more of a giving moment than we ever could imagine. So thank you guys for staying tuned to this podcast. As always, I enjoy our talks. I enjoy these conversations. And if there's any topic that you specifically want me to talk about and you haven't heard it on this podcast, drop me an email at ktthepublicist@gmail.com. Let me know about the topic, or you can comment down in the YouTube section if you're watching this on YouTube. As always, thank you guys for staying tuned, and I will see you in the next podcast episode. Bye, y'all.